Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about South Korea, North Korea, Russia and Ukraine and the news surrounding it all. What's happening, what's being said on Twitter, what's being said by news articles, and giving you guys a little analysis, see what people are saying, what people are quoting, and we're going to go from there. So to start off with, I found this on Twitter, which I thought was quite interesting, and it says, breaking! North Korea releases pictures claiming to show massive crowds of volunteers enlisting in the military. North Korea has drummed up a propaganda campaign against South Korea in recent days while also sending soldiers to Russia for training ahead of their deployment on the front lines in Ukraine. So as you can see, apparently there's been a propaganda campaign against South Korea, leading soldiers to Russia, and have a look at them all. Look at that. They're ready to get their name down. They want to go to war for Kim Jong-un, and as you can see, there is just heaps of them. Look at all of them. That is absolutely insane when you think about it. It looks like a packed out football stadium, but instead it's people ready to go to war. And have a look at this. They're all just crowding him and they just love him. They love Mr. Kim. And if we have a look at the comments, I thought it was quite funny because it says, North Korea doesn't get a single volunteer. They have no choice but to join. And honestly, I agree with that because let's be real, if you live there, you have no choice. You're going to have to go regardless, whether you like it or not. It says there is no such thing as a North Korean volunteer. Once again, facts. And it says, why do they all look this word and starved? I mean, maybe starved a bit, I guess. And then he says, this person says, maybe they get a warm meal a day if they join. Not sure if North Korea can afford that though. They do have plenty of minerals though, which I am sure companies are interested in mining. So I assume that they're obviously getting shipped over to Russia, but I would assume they are getting some benefits, which is you probably get to look good for Mr. Kim and you probably get some food and stuff, which is, quite basic. I mean, they've got to feed those soldiers anyway. So when looking at some of these news articles to do with North Korea and Russia, we have this one here. It says, North Korean arms are more significant than troops in Russia's war against Ukraine. Intelligence builds that members of Pyongyang special forces are in Russia preparing for combat, as munitions are also shipped. So as we know, North Korea has given Russia, ammo, weapons in the past, lots of shells, artillery, the list goes on. But now the special forces in Pyongyang is coming, which I thought was quite interesting. So South Korean intelligence reported that 1,500 members of Pyongyang special forces had crossed to the border of Vladivostok in Russia's Far East to begin training and some degree of participation in the war in Ukraine. So what I've done for you guys is I've had a look at this area in Russia. I totally butchered that, so I don't want to repeat it, but it's this area here in Russia where the Pyongyang special forces have gone, apparently 1,500 of them, and it says it's a major Pacific port city in Russia overlooking Golden Horn Bay near the borders to China and North Korea. It's known as a terminus of the Trans-Siberian Railway, which links to the city to Moscow in a 7-day journey. In the city center is Central Square, where a towering memorial pays tribute to local soldiers who fought Japanese forces in the early 20th century. So as you can see, there's like a few pictures here, and honestly, it looks kind of cool, to be honest, like the whole area. But it just goes to show it is a bit of a war place if this is where they went to fight the Japanese back in the day. And yeah, look at that. Looks pretty cool. Like, I'd definitely have a walk around there and see what's up, but obviously not right now. I don't think that would be a great idea. And in regards to the Pyongyang crossing the borders of Russia, in this article, what they were also talking about is what the soldiers are going to represent, the North Korean soldiers in Russia. And it says they represent the first element of what could be a 12,000 strong 4-brigade deployment, which represents a meaningful commitment, though still modest, against the roughly 600,000 Russian troops already inside Ukraine. So as you know, they are sending, 11, 12,000 people over to Russia, and it's still not that much when you consider that 600,000 Russian troops are inside Ukraine. But it shows North Korea's intent and Russian stance on wanting more soldiers to go ahead and end the war. And what's interesting is it says there is plenty for North Korea's forces to learn, including on how cheap 300 to 400 euro drones are in shaping the battlefield in Ukraine. So I'm going to personally doubt that maybe North Koreans know what a drone is and what it is in war. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe they do, because in wartime and in this day of age, it is necessary to have drones. And if you don't know, in Russia, they are using drones and just bombing the Ukrainians like crazy. Some people say it's against, like war laws and all this kind of stuff like that. I personally am not too sure about what the laws are in war regarding, dropping bombs on people with drones, but it does seem a bit unfair when they can just zip over and drop it on you real quick. And what I found interesting is in this next article, it's talking about the 11,000 soldiers being trained, and they also have a video of them getting kitted out. So as you can see in this video, I'm not sure if exactly this is like some leaked footage or if all news articles have this, but basically they're all getting kitted out here. So as you can see, this is the video here, and look at that. They are just getting all their necessary equipment. Looks like they've got like a big backpack full of supplies they're giving them. They've already got their costume on and they're ready to hit the battlefield by the looks of it. And as you can see, there's a lot going on. I wonder what this stuff is on the corner there. This white stuff, I don't know if that's pillows or if that's like got ammunition inside of it. I'm not sure, but as you can see, there's heaps of them ready to fight. So yeah, it looks like they're actually in Russia ready to go. And it says, we've received this video from our own sources. We cannot provide additional verification who provided to us due to security concerns. So people aren't entirely sure if this is real footage or not. I mean, to me, it looks pretty legit. And it says, for Ukraine, this video is important because it is the first video evidence that shows North Korea participating in the war on the side of Russia. Now, not only with weapons and shells, but also with personnel. So as I said before, there was intelligence stating that they received ammunition, shells, and guns, but they are now receiving soldiers, which hasn't been done before. And, the news article goes on to say it's a new chapter for the war in Ukraine. And it says the benefit that North Korea would get from having this is having its soldiers disguised as Russian soldiers. It has an unprecedented ability to infiltrate the EU states. So I haven't really thought about this, that North Korea would be using this war as a way to disguise their soldiers as Russian soldiers. And, I don't know, just never really thought about that. And if we go ahead in this article, what I also found interesting was it says it's unclear as to their fighting ability. So they're talking about the North Korean soldiers and their ability. And it also says they probably don't speak Russian, so it would be difficult to understand how they would be integrated into the military command, where there would be a separate fighting unit and what their motivation would be. Because as you know, people in North Korea, I don't think they probably even know what Russia is. I mean, surely there is some school of some sort, and obviously they'd learn some geography, but obviously I'm going to assume they don't speak Russian. So it'd be a bit weird on the battlefield, because how would they communicate? How would this work out? I would personally assume that there'd be a squad leader of some sort handling the different units of North Korean Russians, and there's probably North Koreans that know how to speak Russia, and obviously they'd be the squad leader and, going back and forth. But I don't think it would be too difficult for them in war to, talk and figure out what's going on. So in regards to South Korea, North Korea, and Russia, what I have also found is what the South Korea people think about North Korean giving them all these soldiers. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and watch this. And as you can see, this is what she's saying.
그렇게 우크라이나에 파병을 보내는 것 자체가 우리나라 정세뿐만 아니라 국제 정세에서도 굉장히 안보적인 위협이 되고 있는 것 같아서 저희도 우리나라 국민으로서 참 무섭고 위험하다는 생각을 많이 하고 있습니다.
So as you can see, she's basically just saying that it is increasing the South Koreans' security awareness, and you can tell that she is a bit alert to this. And I mean, that's exactly how I would be as well. And, they were flying trash balloons at one stage, and now what she's saying is it is a direct threat to war. And of course it is, because they are actually sending troops for this war now. And we'll go ahead and play another portion of this video. And basically, this man is just saying that it's not minor anymore what North Korea is doing. It's going to be like major clash. And it's obviously shown by that by the soldiers going ahead in Russia for the war. Now, if we have a look at this article here, I found this interesting because obviously we had a look at what the South Korean residents were saying and how they feel about North Korea sending people over to Russia. But now what's happening is Seoul wants North Korean troops to leave Russia immediately. And what I had a look here was interesting because, as we know, about 1,500 North Korean soldiers are moving over, and more or less within South Korea, it is stated that in a meeting with the ambassador, South Korea's Vice Foreign Minister Kim Hong-kyun denounced the move and warned that Seoul will respond with all measures available. So I wonder if they will do something to North Korea. Highly doubt it, or else a war will start. But, you know, obviously they're just denouncing the actions. I highly doubt they're going to be doing anything unless something happens to South Korea, which I doubt. I feel like this is just kind of a buddy-buddy thing between Putin and Kim at the moment. And he added, it should not worry anyone, according to Russian state agency. So personally, I don't think anything is going to happen to South Korea. But if I was a resident in South Korea, I'd be very alert to what's going on, because honestly, you never know. And it says this is not only gravely threatened South Korea, but the international community. So as you know, in the international community, it is a bit sus what's going on, but, you know, it kind of makes sense. But as I said, if you're living in South Korea, I'd be very alert of what's going on. What I also found regarding all this news was someone stating this. I just thought it was interesting. I don't think like this could happen, but, you know, maybe it could. But this person just said, if Trump wins the election, China will get Taiwan, Russia will get Ukraine, Poland, Baltics, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Belgium. North Korea will get South Korea, and Israel will get to nuke Iran. So maybe this could be a move where North Korea and Russia team up. Russia gets all the land that they've always wanted in Europe, and then maybe they'll help North Korea get South Korea, and then Israel will go ahead and do that to Iran, and then NATO is gone. You know what? Wouldn't be surprised if that all happens. I don't know, but I kind of doubt it. And someone went ahead and said, you forgot to add that the 21st century will be China's century. The United States will no longer be a superpower, and the United States economy will markedly decline. So I wonder where the US comes in with all this. Of course, Trump's going to go ahead and be buddy-buddy with Putin, but we don't know as of yet. But I just thought it was an interesting take on this whole situation between North Korea, South Korea, Ukraine, and of course, Russia themselves. And what I found interesting here was this article here. It says, will South Korea give lethal help to Kiev if North Korean troops fight Ukraine? And I found this quote here, and it said, North Korea has one of the largest standing militaries in the world with 1.2 million troops. Personally, I didn't know that, but it goes to show you how big their military is. However, its conventional weapons are considered outdated, and many of its soldiers are often diverted to undertake construction and agricultural duties in their country. Additionally, North Korean fighter pilots face limited training time due to chronic fuel shortages, analysts say. They don't have the battle experience and most likely will not be decisive in military terms. So this is kind of what I was talking about before. Obviously, these North Koreans don't know how to speak Russian, and if anything, they could just be used as a pawn in this war where North Korea helps out Russia, and then in turn, maybe Russia will help them with getting land. I'm personally not too sure what's going to happen, but obviously, people can get trained. You know, war can create these types of people who will go ahead and do these sorts of things. So obviously there's boot camps, training, and all that stuff. I think what people forget is people can be trained to do things. And as it was said in this article here, the Pyongyang Special Forces are coming. Sorry, this article here, the Pyongyang Special Forces. So not only is it normal military people, but if the Pyongyang Special Forces are coming in, then you can be rest assured that they're definitely getting the help that they need in Russia. So overall, that is going to be the video for today, breaking down a bit of what's happening in South Korea, North Korea, Russia, and ultimately what could happen with Ukraine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more videos like this, where I break it down, kind of give you my 2 cents on everything, and also ask you guys for your discussion, let me know what you think will happen. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Drop a like if you have, and I'll see you guys in the next video.